Hey guys, how's it going? It's Vengeance here, and today I'm going to make a guide for new players to Ascension on everything you need to know about Mystic Enchants, or as people call them in this game, REs, standing for Random Enchants. So, the first things first, there is a list available to all players of all random enchants. If you press N and go to Collections, and then on the bottom tab here, you'll have the Enchants tab. If you go to All, you will have a list. It's 167 pages long, so generally not the thing that you want to go looking through. It's there's far too many random enchants for you to memorize them all or anything like that. But you can go through and select them by grade. So here are all the legendary random enchants. There are 7 pages of them. There's all the epic random enchants and all the rares and uncommons and commons, which aren't a thing anymore. The known enchants are the enchants that you have extracted, which I will go over in a minute. And this is just the basics on how to research enchantments. So let's say you are a fireball build like this character, for instance. You could look up fireball and it will come up with all the random enchants that have anything to do with fireball. And you can go through and you can read them, and this helps you look for different REs that will help flesh out your build. Now, this is a Mystic altar or an ancient enchanting altar. There are a few of these that are permanent across the map, but most of the time somebody will have an altar placed down outside of the bank in the major cities, whether it be Stormwind or Orgrimmar. And those are temporary. They only last 5 minutes, and they have a 6-hour cooldown. So sometimes there will be one, sometimes there won't be. Most of the time you can just ask people, they'll put one down. But this is how you use it. So you click on it, it opens up with a panel like this. It'll look like this, actually. And you have a couple different things here. So first things first, we're going to go through the materials up here. Mystic orbs are used to put an enchant that is in your collection onto an item that is in this slot. So if I were to drag an item over here, the item has to be blue or higher quality. Greens, whites, and grays can't be placed in the Mystic altar. So we're going to take that one out. So Mystic orbs help put the enchants on the items. Different enchant grades cost different amounts. So if we go here and I click on Fireball and I want to throw it on the item, because it's a green enchant, it costs 3. Blues cost 6. Purples cost 10. And legendaries cost 25. The next thing over here is Mystic runes. These are used for reforging. So if I click this button right here, right now this has Taunting Scorch on it. If I click this button, it goes through a little loading thing, and I now have a new enchant on this item. That used up 1 Mystic rune and gained me a little bit of this progress bar down here that's kind of like an XP bar. And every time that this goes up, you get a Mystic extract, which can be used to take a random enchant out of a piece of gear, and in the process you destroy that piece of gear. So let's say I want this Dusk Knight random enchant off of this piece of gear, which I really don't, but for educational purposes, I would click this and it would use my extract. Now I'm going to go through and roll just a couple more times just to show you how the progress bar goes up. See, now I went up to level 18 and I went from 7 to 8 extracts. So now I'm just gonna click this and extract this, and this pair of pants, I'm not sure if I actually want to lose these. I don't have anything else with me, but if I were to do this, it says right here, it will destroy the item. This item would disappear from my bag, and I would gain this random enchant in my list over here. You can also search the auction house for specific random enchants, and just by typing in the name of that enchant. So if I wanted to say Mending Tide, I would look up on the auction house for Mending Tide, and it would list me a whole bunch of items that have Mending Tide on that piece of gear. And then I could take that piece of gear, throw it in an altar, and extract that enchant, and I would have it forever. And I can reapply it as many times as I want, as long as I have the orbs to do so. If you are too low on orbs to enchant an item, so let's say I had 23 orbs and I wanted to throw a flame on random enchant on my piece of gear, it would tell me that it's going to cost me gold instead. And the gold amount that it costs you is absurd. There's no point in paying it. At higher levels, you get Mystic Orbs from doing quests in Outlands, and same thing with Mystic Runes. And using Mystic Runes gets you Mystic Extract. So that's the whole loop that you need to know about the enchanting materials and the basics of how the random enchants work. Now, one other thing is that you can only have, at any point in time, up to 3 purple enchants at any point in time on your character. If you ever go up to 4, so if I had 4 pieces of gear with purple enchants on them, all my purple enchants would be canceled out and they wouldn't be working at all. And you can only have 1 legendary on your character. Any blues or greens that are available, most of them stack up to 3 times. There's a few that specifically state that they do not stack. So for instance, my critical mass here is 3 out of 3, and that's because I have 3 of these on a piece of gear. So this means that I have an effective amount. It's the highest amount of these that I could have. While my Fire Blast here, I only have 2 out of 3. And the Steady Frostbolt, which is just a random one that I have on a random piece of gear. I don't even know which one it is. But that random enchant, I only have 1 out of 3. Now, there's certain random enchants, like Precision, for instance. It is a blue enchant, but it says specifically this enchant does not stack. So I couldn't have 2 of these on my gear. If I were to throw 2 of these on my gear, they would cancel each other out and neither of them would work. That's the basic tutorial on random enchants concluded. If you liked this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back at you with some more content later. See ya.